call the October 8th Harrison Planning Commission meeting to order. Would you all stand with us for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. We'll go ahead and do the roll call.
Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Mr. Graff.
Here.
Mayor Grubbs. Ms. Knock.
Here.
Mr. McMurdo.
Here. We do have the August and September meeting minutes that we need to approve. We'll go ahead and start off with the August.
Wilson moves to approve the minutes as printed.
Mr. Graff.
Yay.
Mayor Grubbs.
Yay.
Ms. Knock.
Yay.
Mr. McMurdo.
Yay.
Mr. Wilson.
Yay.
And our September 10th meeting minutes.
Second.
And that's just going to be Mr. Wilson. Mr. Graff.
Yay.
Mayor Grubbs.
Yay.
Ms. Knock.
Abstain.
Mr. McMurdo.
Abstain. All right, I'd like to welcome our visitors, and we will move on to new business. Our first item is the zoning and use permit application for 211 Harrison Avenue, the proposed comic shop. And I believe we have a visitor here. If you wanted to come up and share anything. Oh, you can read it first if you like. Yeah, you're right there's one.
Hi, my name is Andrew Satterfield. I'm with my family here today. My son Zach, who's our vendor coordinator for the events that we run. My son Alex, who helps out with our merch booth. My daughter and her boyfriend, who help with our celebrity signings. And my wife, who helps keep us all in order. My name is Andrew Satterfield. I'm the owner and founder of Cincinnati Comic Expo, Anime Ohio, and Super Cincy Expo. Our combined attendance of all these events is over 30,000. We're hoping to get to 40 here in the next year. What we want to do in Harrison, I've lived in Harrison since 2012. Outside that, I lived down in East Miami my whole life. My family owns a farm down there. And I was in 4-H, and I remember coming to a lot of meetings here back in the 80s and 90s. I've always been a collector, a little bit of a nerd from reading Archie comics in the back of the station wagon with my dad driving down to Florida. My dad allowed me to go into a quarter bin to pick comics out that were age appropriate at that time, which usually end up being Disney comics. So I've been waiting for a long time for somebody to open up a store in Harrison, and nobody's done it yet. Every community in the city of Cincinnati has a local comic book shop. Every Wednesday, the fans come in, they go out and they purchase their weekly new offerings that come in. So every Wednesday is new comic book day. You might have heard that saying before. That's when the publishers release their new issues for that week, anywhere from 10 to 30 different issues. Next year, Jim Lee, who's a famous artist, is coming out with a new series, highly anticipated. And he's going to be running this for a year long, so once a month we'll have good steady traffic for the Jim Lee Batman issues that are coming out that everybody's highly anticipated. It's the whole team coming back together. So what is the Atomic Vault? Well, the Atomic Vault's going to be like your typical comic book shop, but a little bit more. It'll be a hub for all things enthusiasts for comic books, pop culture items, offer an extensive array of comic books, toys, collectibles, graded merchandise, vintage movie posters from the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Anything you can think that's related to pop culture and nerddom, so to speak, you'll find it at our store. Also, we have vintage video games for people who like that. Will we carry some Pokemon cards? Yeah, we'll carry some, but we're not going to get too crazy into it. Our main focus is going to be on comic books and high-end collectibles, and also stuff for casual fans that somebody wants to buy something for a birthday present, they can come in and buy a Lego set. So fans will come to the shop looking for something they might not have thought they wanted, and they might walk out with something that they desperately needed. In addition to the retail offerings of the Atomic Vault, we'll also serve as a buying trading center. So people from out the city can come to our shop, going to clean out a closet full of old toys, see if there's any value to them. They come out there, and we'll give them a fair offer and give them cash on the spot. Somebody's in a tight bind, come down to the shop, see what you got. Okay? What about comic book shops? Comic book shops hold a special heart in all communities. Celebrate events, bring fans together. Well, how do we do our events, comic book stores? Simple. Comic Vault will be no exception. We'll honor traditions like Free Comic Book Day. First Saturday in May is Free Comic Book Day. The publishers give the stores various titles from all age groups, from little kids to old collectors like me. They'll reprint comics, famous issues. Kids can come in, and you get to select a bunch of free comics for free, no charge. And we'll be honoring that as well. Also, we have things such as comic book stores, have a thing called Halloween Comic Fest, where they'll release Halloween-themed comics that come in costume, get a free comic. And we'll also do things like local comic book day, shop day. Now it'll be in November, where they have exclusive merchandise that you only get on that day. So of course, the fans got to come back into the shop, come get it. So, also with our experience with Cincinnati Comic Expo, I think it's going to make our shop a little different than all the local shops throughout the community, which Harrison doesn't have, is that we also have very deep ties with a lot of agents. We can get celebrities here to our events. So it could be Lou Ferrigno, just as an example. You know, it could be shine a little light on Harrison with bringing a Power Ranger in. Maybe it's a famous wrestler that's somebody, Jake the Snake Roberts. Maybe it's somebody from Back to the Future or Star Wars, Star Trek. These are all things that we have access to with our relationships. The Cincinnati Comic Expo has hosted over 400 celebrities for the last 15 years through our events, all our events. And we have very good relationship. They like our show, they like my team. And we like to be able to offer that sometimes. Well, maybe our show is a little full. We already had too many guests signed up. But then I can say, hey, we can't fit you into the show, but I got a store I'd love to have you have a private signing at. So they'll come to the show, do a private sign, and we'll open it up to the public. Let the fans come in. They can buy an autograph, get a photo with somebody. And they might see Lou Ferrigno down the street eating a burger at one of the restaurants. You know, get some social media going on that, right? You know, here at so-and-so, 1869 Tap Room, come out, check it out. You know, you can't get better advertising than that when somebody's got 1 million fans. So we hope to become the destination shop here in Cincinnati. I like my hometown. I like living here. I just wish there was something a little bit more nerdy here. So, and I like to be able to bring it. We also like to participate in all the events that we have down in Harrison. I love the location, 211 Harrison Avenue. It's right across from the Christmas tree. I'm a big Christmas fan. I actually want to open up a Christmas store, but there ain't no shops. And I got to start with one first before I get started on another one. But you go right across the street, I got props from the Santa Claus movies. I love to be able to put them in a nice window display, have people come in. I got several reindeers that were in the movie. I got the actual toy soldiers that were used in the movie, and Santa Claus 2. We have a lot of interesting things, put it that way. I think will make it pretty unique that we can have on displays. Also, we have a full-size land speeder from Star Wars. There's only 3 in the country. And I've been waiting to use this in parades for a very long time. It runs on a golf cart batteries. Now, I used to drive it in parts of Whitewater at one time, but then the golf cart rule got passed. So it's been locked in the shop for a long time, so I'm hoping I get a pass for the parade. Okay, so, but anyway, we would like to be part of the community. We like to host events, signings, partner up with the local community, and have a great experience for everybody that's here in town. Somebody that can, hey, I want to grab something for the kid for the birthday. Let's head down to the shop. Let's see what they got. Maybe it's a Lego set, maybe it's an action figure, maybe it's a comic book or a trade paperback. Maybe you're shopping for a vintage movie poster. You don't know what you're going to find when you come in there, so you got to go. And so I'm hoping you guys allow us to have a shop. The Atomic Vault. Try for something a little unique, something that has you got cool collectibles in there, big rocket ship. Make it fun. So that's my spiel.
Thank you, Andrew.
What's the most expensive comic book you might have? I watch Pawn Stars a lot. I see these guys coming in with comic books that are unbelievable in price.
It's probably my Star Wars one. It's a cast signed book, original from 1977. At one time it was pushing 20, and then I got a Frank Frazetta signed book. He only signed 120 books. If you know Frank Frazetta, you've seen his artwork. You've all seen it. People used to paint it on the sides of vans. Okay, he's an extremely famous artist, and he only did 120 books that were signed and authenticated by CGC, the grading company, which means a third-party witness was there to witness it being signed. And I've had offers of 12,000, but it wouldn't be surprised I put it into auction, it would go for over 20. But I have a lot of really nice artwork from people as well. So, you know, yeah. So it's all over the place. I got more stuff than any man should have.
Thank you. I probably should have you read the staff report first, but we'll go ahead and have you
That's
read
all
it
right.
now.
We are going to improvise. It's all good. The reason for the request is the applicant is required to submit a zoning and use permit application to open a business in the DRD. Such permits cannot be issued until approved by Planning Commission. We have gone over the intended use. Very good job. Thank you. The hours of operation at this time will be Tuesday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sunday, 12 to 5 p.m. The building is a two-story building with apartments on the second floor. The applicant will be using the approximate 1,300 square feet on the ground floor for the business. No outdoor lighting plan is proposed. There are no existing landscaping areas on the property. On-street parking is available in front of the building, and a public parking lot is available behind the building. The sign logo, which is here, will be on a 10-square-foot hanging sign on the front of the building. And the recommendation is this application has been reviewed by Harrison Planning and Zoning staff and meets the Harrison zoning regulations per section 1143C5, which states sale of goods and products at retail. The applicant also meets the intention of the downtown strategic plan to offer unique businesses in the area that attract foot traffic and walkability in the downtown. If Planning Commission approves the application, the Building and Zoning Department would recommend the following conditions. All waste associated with the business shall be disposed of using residential style waste containers. Any dumpster that is used in the future will require review and approval by the Building and Zoning Department. Any future structural, interior, or exterior improvements will require a building permit presented to the Building and Zoning Department for review and approval. Any outside design changes, such as painting of the building or trim, will require a zoning permit filed with Building and Zoning to ensure that they are in keeping with the historical nature of the DRD. Any future signage will be submitted to the Building and Zoning Department for review and approval according to the Harrison zoning regulations. Any future landscaping will be maintained in accordance with the Harrison zoning regulations.
Pretty good question. Do you actually plan to make any improvements to the exterior of the building?
No,
Other than signage?
just signage. Quite understanding it would be pretty signage needs to not be flamboyant.
And he does want to consider the design as part of the approval of the application.
The design of this
Yeah,
sign?
the comic
The sign's on page 3.
vault logo to be approved as part of the application. It'll go through zoning for size regulations, but this is just the design. I think it's kind of cool. Yeah.
I'll second that motion.
Alrighty. Ms. Knock,
Yay.
Mr. McMurdo,
Yay.
Mr. Wilson,
Yay.
Mr. Graff,
Yay.
Mayor Grubbs. Motion approved.
Congratulations.
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 All right, our next item of business is the plat approval for the trailhead, section 1.
This is coming before us because all proposed parcel splits are approved by Planning Commission. This is at the Trailhead Development. The reason for the request is the applicant is requesting approval to split Lot 1 and Lot 36 in Section 1, Block B of the Trailhead Development to be able to sell individual units of a 2-unit dwelling. The new division line will be established within the common wall of the unit and has been field located to verify its location. Upon approval, the record plat will be recorded at the Hamilton County Recorder's Office per typical subdivision procedure, and deeds will be recorded to transfer the lots as sold. This application has been reviewed by Harrison Zoning Department and the City of Harrison Engineer, and staff would recommend approval. And Doug Pietmeyer is here if you have any questions specifically about the plat itself.
Doug, do you know, does the developer have, like a party wall agreement that they're gonna have put in place for these?
I assume they do. I'm not privy to it, to be honest with you. But typically the developer doesn't quite do these every year.
Okay. That would be my only concern. I don't know that we have the authority to require it, but just make a recommendation. If you could pass that along.
So you can let me know that information.
That being said, I would move for approval.
I'll second.
Mr. McMurdo?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
Okay.
Mr. Graff?
Yay.
Mayor Grubbs? Ms. Knock?
Yay.
Motion approved. And Doug will stamp and sign those for you to take with you.
All right, and our last order of new business is the conditional use permit for Madden Way.
The reason for this request is that all proposed conditional use permits are reviewed by Planning Commission for approval with supplementary conditions, or disapproval per section 117904 of the Harrison zoning regulations. The applicant is requesting a conditional use approval to operate a concrete recycling center for processing and reclamation within an area designated as M1. The application must be reviewed and approved by Planning Commission per section 114307 of the Harrison zoning regulations, which lists recycling centers as a conditional use. The operation would consist of concrete materials being brought in and used for reclamation of the property or recycled into aggregate and used on the property for access or for resale. The applicant feels this operation is a critical part continuing to press towards Harrison's goal of the reclaiming of the site. The applicant states the proposed use will have no negative impact on the surrounding properties, and the proposed recycling facility would be in harmony with the existing industrial uses in the area. The operation will adhere to all local noise ordinances and regulations, and the recycling operation would only be active during the day from 7 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. and not operational overnight. The operation does not involve the handling or processing of materials that would generate odors and does not anticipate any concerns related to odor or environment. The operation has the potential to contribute positively to the local economy by creating high-value jobs and increasing the tax base. This property was specifically referenced in the comprehensive plan below, under the section Comprehensive Plan Goals and Recommendations. The land use recommendation was to maintain the gravel mine off West Road and Dry Fork Road as an industrial commercial with fill and restoration and buffering to adjacent uses. And the economic development recommendations were to preserve the industrial corridor and available land which is zoned for industrial development. Summary and recommendation is that the application has been reviewed by the Harrison Building and Zoning Department staff. The application meets the goals and recommendations from the city's comprehensive plan for the M1 zone and adheres to the general standards applicable to all conditional uses, which is on the next page. It's a long read, but I did highlight the section that we're talking about. If Planning Commission approves the conditional use permit, including the condition below, would be recommended as part of the approval. In that condition is recycling is allowed only for the duration of the reclamation process of the site. Once reclamation is complete, the recycling process ends.
This is concrete only, not blacktop. How much of the product that comes in is actually recycled, and how much of it goes for fill?
Or obviously, a lot of those that come in are mixed, they have their concrete off the jobs where they're taking this entire sections out where it's all mixed. So that's really good to fill, like fill size and things, when you have those real steep tanks and things. So Hard telling, 'cause not always sure how much is mixed in those loads, but,
That's what I was thinking. Any other questions?
When you say asphalt, I'm thinking of like Sharonville, right up there off the interstate. Is that,
that's an actual manufacturer.
okay?
That's the asphalt.
So that's,
Whole different animal.
okay.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Mr. Wilson,
Yay.
Mr. Graff,
Yay.
Mayor Grubbs,
Yay.
Ms. Knock,
Yay.
Ms. McMurdo.
Yay.
Motion approved.
Right. That is our last new business. We do not have any old business. So we just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
I'll second it.
Mr. Graff,
Yay.
Mayor Grubbs,
Yay.
Ms. Knock,
Yay.
Mr. McMurdo,
Yay.
Mr. Wilson.
Okay,
Okay. Meeting adjourned.
we're out of here.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Good luck on your conference.